The grand marble lobby of the Regency Hotel sparkled under crystal chandeliers. Guests in tailored suits and designer dresses moved through with the quiet confidence of the wealthy. But in the center of it all, tension brewed. A well-dressed man in his late 50s stood at the reception desk, his words rapid and urgent, but no one understood him. He was speaking in Mandarin, gesturing toward a crumpled itinerary in his hands. The receptionist tried to smile politely, repeating, "I'm sorry, sir, I don't understand." A manager rushed over, flipping through a translation app, but it only made the man's frown deepen. Guests whispered and stared, some impatient, others curious. This was Mr. Chen Wei, one of China's most successful business magnates. He had flown across the world for an urgent meeting, but something had gone terribly wrong with his reservation. And in that glittering lobby, not one person seemed able to help him. That's when a woman in a simple maid's uniform, holding a cleaning cart, paused mid-step. Her name was Naomi Carter. Most guests barely noticed her, just another staff member in the background. But as she watched the scene unfold, something stirred inside her. Naomi had grown up in a working-class neighborhood in Atlanta. Life hadn't given her much. Her mother cleaned houses. Her father worked construction, but she had been blessed with a curious mind. She had always loved learning new things, and during college, she'd taken up Mandarin as an elective. Years later, her degree was still unfinished, but her passion for the language never faded. She practiced daily, listening to Chinese podcasts during bus rides to work. So when she heard Mr. Chen's distressed words, mixed with frustration, exhaustion, and a heavy accent, Naomi knew exactly what he was saying. She pushed her cart aside, took a small breath, and stepped forward. "Debutsi, Sansheng, Suyao. Excuse me, sir. Do you need help?" The lobby went still. Heads turned. Mr. Chen's eyes widened as if he'd just seen a miracle. You speak Mandarin?" he asked in surprise, switching to slower speech. Naomi smiled. "A little, yes. Tell me what happened." Mr. Chen explained in Mandarin that his assistant had booked the wrong dates, and the hotel had given away his suite. He had important meetings that day and nowhere to prepare. Every attempt to explain had failed because no one could understand him. Naomi listened carefully, nodding and asking clarifying questions in fluent Mandarin. Then she turned to the receptionist and calmly translated every detail. Within minutes, the situation went from chaos to order. The hotel staff, embarrassed they couldn't help earlier, quickly arranged a new luxury suite, complimentary upgrades, and a private meeting space. Mr. Chen was visibly relieved. Before leaving for his suite, he turned to Naomi and said, in Mandarin, "You're the first person today who made me feel seen. I won't forget this." Naomi blushed. "I'm just glad I could help." She started to step back toward her cleaning cart, but something told Mr. Chen this was not the last conversation they'd have. Later that evening, as Naomi was wiping down tables in the hotel lounge, a sharply dressed man approached her. It was Mr. Chen's personal aide. "Mr. Chen requests your presence for dinner," he said. Naomi hesitated. "I'm just a maid." "I don't think he insists," the aide interrupted. That night, Naomi sat across from Mr. Chen at a private table in the hotel's rooftop restaurant, over steaming plates of Peking duck and jasmine tea. They talked about life, about family, about the challenges of being underestimated. Mr. Chen told her his own story, how he had once been a poor village boy in China, mocked for dreaming beyond his station, and how a teacher's encouragement had changed his life. people didn't expect much from me either, he said. But I learned sometimes all it takes is one skill, one moment, to open a new door. Naomi shared her dream of finishing her degree, of one day working as a translator or diplomat. Mr. Chen listened intently, then leaned back in his chair. Naomi, he said, you have a gift, don't waste it. 2 weeks later, Naomi was called into the hotel manager's office. She braced herself, thinking she might be in trouble. Instead, the manager handed her an envelope. Inside was a letter and a check. The letter, written in elegant Mandarin and English, was from Mr. Chen. He thanked her for her kindness and explained that he was sponsoring her final year of college, covering tuition and living expenses. At the bottom, a single line stood out. Your voice matters. Keep speaking. With tears in her eyes, Naomi realized her life had just changed. She enrolled in classes, working part-time at the hotel while studying, and every time she saw a confused guest struggling with language, she remembered that day in the lobby, the day she proved that sometimes the most powerful person in the room is the one no one notices. Months later, Naomi graduated with honors. Mr. Chen flew in for the ceremony, smiling proudly as she walked across the stage. Because of one conversation, one act of courage, and one shared language, Naomi's future was no longer defined by a cleaning cart, it was defined by possibility. What are your thoughts on this story? Comment and subscribe, Lifelines.